Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series. Hey guys, it's Adam here and welcome to PlayLoad. This is all my video game pickups for the month of March 2015, and as per usual, we'll start off with things you guys have already seen. Now first up, this is Redux 1.1 Collector's Edition. This is a new Sega Dreamcast game. Again, did a whole video on this, so you can get all the details there, but if you're interested, you can pick this up at hughcast.com. Now, I also got a bunch of stuff from viewers. People sent me some things, which was very cool of them. Stuff, of course, they don't have to do, but they did it anyway. And again, did a whole video on that, but let me show you some highlights of those the things they sent me. A guy named Steven sent me Groove On Fight for the Sega Saturn. Real Bout games. I believe it's Real Bout Fatal Fury Best Collection. What do we have? Vampire Savior. Zero Divide, The Final Conflict. He also sent me a couple of N64 games. This is a Japanese copy of Yoshi's Story, boxed, as well as Pilot Wing 64, boxed. A couple of PS2 games, Chaos Field, The New Order, Basura X for the PS2. He also sent me a couple of Dreamcast games, which I'm just realizing I didn't bring out here. Street Fighter with Impact 3 and Giant Graham 2000. And inside the case for Giant Graham 2000, I found this. This is Thunder Force 5 Perfect System for the PS1. Now, this wasn't like a mistake. He actually contacted me and was like, yeah, did you find that? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, sorry. And he's like, oh, no problem, I meant to give that to you. It was just, I forgot to mention it. So yeah, there you go, an extra copy, well, not an extra copy because I've never had this game before, but a disc-only copy of the game, which is cool because it's NTSC, so it's the American version. And he sent it from Europe, so to him it was an import. To me, it's a completely normal game, so that's very cool of him. And thank you again to Steven for all that. I also got Food Fight for the Atari 7800. This was sent to me by a guy named Zach, and that was cool of him to do that because I really never get Atari 7800 games, so very cool to have a new one in the library. I got Puyo Pop Fever for the PS2. This was sent to me by a guy named Henry. Now, this game is interesting. I mentioned this before, but I'm going to do this really short version of this story. This game was released on every console in the 6th generation. It's one of the only true multiplats, meaning PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, but also the Dreamcast. However, it had a very scattered release. In North America, we only got the GameCube version. In Japan, they got the PS2 and Dreamcast version. They might have had the GameCube version. And in Europe, they got the Xbox version and the PS2 version, and they might have had the GameCube version. I'm still not even sure of that. But yeah, this was just the only one I was missing, and so I thought that would be cool to have. And Henry said, oh, here you go, you can just have it. So thank you again to Henry for that. That was really, really cool of you. I also got Mortal Kombat for the PS3. Now, the story of this was that a few months ago I was up in Canada, and I bought this for like $4 or $5 Canadian, which is like roughly $3 or $4 American. And it was the first game I was picking up, and I looked inside and there was no disc. Now, in the US, I'm used to going to used game stores and there not being a disc inside. You bring it up to the counter and then they give you the disc. But that wasn't the case with this store. They usually keep the discs in the games. So, I don't know, I just, because it was the first one, I never thought to go back and look at it. So, long story short, I walked out of the store without the game. And by the time I realized, you know, I was back at the hotel, and it was such a cheap game, it wasn't worth going back and picking up. So I told that story, and this guy John, he said, oh, no problem, I've got that game, I don't want it, I'll send it to you. And I thought he said he was going to just send the disc, but then he ended up sending the entire case, which is nice because the US case is all in English. And nothing against the French language, but I don't like the Canadian cases that much because they have dual languages on it. Again, nothing against the French language, it's just kind of not aesthetically pleasing to have two languages on there, but that's me. But thank you again to John for that. I also got a bunch of CDI games that were sent to me by a guy in Austria named Ronald. He sent me Defender of the Crown, Escape from Cyber City, Treasures of the Smithsonian, Little Devil, and Inca. So, yeah, a bunch of new CDI games, which is really cool to have. And thank you to Ronald for that. Next up is a little bit of a story within a story within a story, so hold your horses for a second. I picked up Sniper Elite for the original Xbox. Now, this is the only original Xbox game I picked up this month, which, if you guys know me, that's kind of uncommon. I try to pick up a lot of original Xbox games, but this one I got for a particular reason. See, I was out Wii U hunting, which I'll talk about in a bit, and one of the games I picked up was Sniper Elite V2. And I ended up playing this, and I actually really liked the game. I know the Wii U version is an inferior version. I know it's missing content. I know it doesn't have certain features. I know it even runs a little buggy, but I loved it. I had so much fun playing this game. And I didn't know there was a first game in the series. I thought, because I know what the V2 missile program was. I just assumed it was it was called Sniper Elite V2 because it had something to do with the V2 missions, which it does, but I didn't know that that was a clever way of saying it was a sequel. So once I did a little research, I found out that this game existed. And I got lucky and found this up at a game store in Madison, Wisconsin. So, yeah, that was cool to get. And I also was like, well, you know, I know Sniper Elite 3 is a thing, so I went ahead and I looked into that and then found out that this version, Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition, which is the whole game plus all the extra DLC and stuff all built into the disc, was coming out like 2 days later. And I was like, wow, that's some seriously fucked up crazy shit there. But okay, great, I'll just go ahead and get that. So that's exactly what I did. And if coincidences were strawberries, we'd all be drinking a lot of smoothies right now, because the day I bought this game, like later that evening, I got contacted by Rebellion, the company that made these games. And they said, hey, you know, here's 4 keys for Zombie Army Trilogy, which is our brand new game. Hope you enjoy it. And I was like, what? So after communicating with them for a bit, we decided that I was going to give away those 4 keys to you guys. That's why I did a video about that earlier. So I will announce the winners of that at the end of this video, by the way. If that's all you care about, you can skip to the end. I'll put the time code right there. You can go ahead and skip and see if you won or not. But yeah, either way, I'll contact you if you do. Now, now the cool thing about Sniper Elite 3 was that, of course, it came out, it was a $40 release, and I bought it at Best Buy, so I was able to get it for $32 because of, again, I did a video on this, but how to save 20% off out of all game purchases at Best Buy. I know a lot of you guys didn't watch that because you assumed it was spam, but go watch it. If you live in the US, I'm being completely legitimate. You can get 20% off of all games at Best Buy. But anyway, so what triggered all of this, back to the Wii U, was that, I don't know, man, I just kind of got a bug up my ass, and I was like, I gotta get some Wii U games. Basically, I went out and I noticed that a lot of stores like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, even Amazon to an extent, are doing a lot of cleansing of their Wii U inventory. And I assumed at first that that was a bad thing, like, uh-oh, they know something we don't. And then, of course, the whole NX thing happened. I was like, oh shit, maybe they're tied together. And then I just kind of thought about it some more and realized there's actually nothing uncommon about this. Basically what they're doing is they're taking a lot of the older games, they're throwing them in clearance bins and just trying to get rid of them. See, this happens all the time with things like the 360, the PS3, etc. But you don't really notice because they constantly have new games coming in, so the shelves of those consoles never look barren. In the case of the Wii U, it looks like they're just getting rid of everything, and the only reason for that is because there's not that many new Wii U games coming out at all, so it just looks like there's nothing there. But anyway, I decided that I want to try and get my hands on as many Wii U games as I can, because I get the feeling it's going to be kind of like the Dreamcast or the Saturn in a few years. It's going to be more sought after, and the games are going to be like impossible to find. It shares a lot of similarities, you know, in as far as like its retail. Those consoles didn't get much shelf space. They had a very limited library. I think it's going to be kind of the same way. And I get the feeling in a few years a lot of collectors are going to be going after Wii U games to get full sets, because I would be surprised if the Wii U ever even cracks 200 games collectively. Maybe it will, but yeah, I don't know. That's just my guess. But anyway, so the first one I got here is Sniper Elite V2, and I'm just going to power through these. I got Cabelas Big Game Hunter Pro Hunts. This is apparently a North American exclusive. Cabelas Dangerous Hunts 2013, Call of Duty Ghosts, Epic Mickey The Power of 2, or Epic Mickey 2 Power of 2. Ah, that's me! Disney's Planes, Disney's DuckTales Remastered, Family Party 30 Great Games, Obstacle Arcades. This game is absolute shit. Funky Party, or Funky Barn, sorry. Just Dance 4, Lego Marvel Superheroes, the Lego Movie video game, Monster High 13 Wishes, NBA 2K13, which is actually one of the 3 conventional sports games on this console, the other 2 being like Madden 13 and FIFA 13. That's funny, the Wii U is doing so badly it doesn't get sports games. I mean, they only had the launch ones and that's it. I'm glad I found this one in particular because I like the NBA a lot, I like the Chicago Bulls a lot, so of course having Derrick Rose on the cover is awesome to me. Yay. But moving on. Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, Rise of the Guardians, 007 Legends, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Barbie Dreamhouse Party, because you got to have Barbie Dreamhouse Party in your game catalog. Now the thing about these games is that most of them were $10 or less. I don't think there was any, except for one that I haven't shown you yet, that I paid above that. And this, of course, fucking Barbie was like $5.99. Like, there was a Toys R Us that actually had a shit ton of these in stock, and they were just trying to get rid of them, so I got one. Yeah, I'm not proud of that pickup, but technically it's part of the full set, isn't it? Now the one I paid retail for was this. Wii Sports Club. I was really surprised to see this. Wii Sports Club came out and retailed at $40. It is one of the few Wii U games that now sells above retail. The other ones being like New Super Luigi U and Pikmin 3 sell above retail. This one came out at $40 and now sells for around $60 to $65, which is really odd. And I think part of the reason for that is Nintendo really just did a small one run of this game, probably won't do another. Didn't really sell very well. I was really surprised to see it at a Walmart. So I was happy to pick it up and get it, because it's not common anymore. But yeah, just happy to have that. And I also picked up Project Spark for the Xbox One. Didn't have much intention of getting this, but while I was looking for all these other Wii U games, I noticed in one of the bins or whatever, they had Project Spark for $10 on clearance at a Target. And since it's an exclusive, at least as far as consoles go, I decided what the hell I was going to get it, because that's really all I pick up on the Xbox One is exclusives. But honestly, I don't have a whole lot of interest in this particular game. I have, oh, by the way, I got Borderlands, the Handsome Collection for the PS4. Ironically, I can't show it to you. I was basically, my other channel, Game Society Pimps, received a copy of this, but I let one of my cohorts, borrow it to play it. They said ultimately I could keep it, so I have it, but I can't show it to you directly. But this is just paperwork proving to you that I did in fact get it. I also got this. This is a package. This came from a guy named Ian who lives in the UK. So the story with this package is that Ian contacted me a couple of months ago, and he said, "Hey Adam, I got this giant box of original Xbox games." It was something like 40 games, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really have any interest in the Xbox. I don't want these. Do you want them?" I was like, "Dude, sell them or get an Xbox or something, or give them away to someone local." And he was like, "No, man, if you don't want them, I'm just gonna toss them." And I was like, "All right, if you're sure." He's like, "Yeah, I don't mind shipping them out. It's fine." And so he was going to send like 40 games from the UK to here, which seemed excessive to me, but he said he wanted to do it. And he went to the post office, and I think that's when reality set in, because they told him it would be like 70 pounds to ship it, which is like $100, $110, something like that, US. And that's when he came back and was like, "Yeah, that's how much it's going to cost. I'm not sending that." And I'm like, "I sure as hell don't blame you. I wouldn't do that either." And he was like, "Yeah, but I feel bad. I want to send you something because I said I was going to." I was like, "You really don't have to do that." And he's like, No. Pick out a couple of games, and I'll send those on their way." And it arrived, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up and show you what's inside. So expect a jump cut. All right, I finally got that open. The whole thing was wrapped in duct tape. That was a pain, but well packaged nonetheless. So inside, let me just go ahead. You can look at 13 Wishes Monster High, whatever the hell that is. And here's what we got. We got 5 Xbox games, all from Europe. Now this one is Futurama. Now we actually got this in North America, but I actually kind of like the artwork better, the art design of the European version better. So that's why I decided I want that one. Plus I'm just a big fan of Futurama, so that was pretty cool. Pro Evolution Soccer 4 and 5. Nothing special about these except that they're both European exclusives, so I thought, alright, sure, I'll boost my exclusives number for the original Xbox. It's also why I got this, Neighbors from Hell. This is actually supposed to be a pretty cool game, and it was also exclusive to Europe as well, so very cool to have that. And Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude Uncut. Now, we got this game in North America, but our version was semi-censored. This game has nudity in it, like, cartoon nudities. I mean, these are just like little video game characters. But our version, when the nude scenes come up, it will put, actually, ironically, it'll put a logo very similar to this over the characters that says censored instead of uncut. That can be disabled, but I guess in the European version it was natively disabled. So very cool to have that. And that's the thing about censorship. In North America, we don't really get censored very often, except for the only time that ever really happens is sexual content. But I mean, that works both ways. In other countries, if you take a game, for example, like South Park Stick of Truth, over here we got the totally uncut version, and the rest of the world got versions with content missing. So, you know, sometimes you win some, you lose some. But thank you very much to Ian for that. That was really cool of you to hook me up with these, and yeah, that was awesome. Now, there's one other pickup I want to show you guys. Just one, you know, just a little thing, just some. Copy of Shenmue for the Sega Dreamcast. I'm sure you're thinking, Adam, you know, you obviously must have had a copy of Shenmue for the Dreamcast, you know. You talk about it all the time. Oh yeah, no, I did. In fact, this is a copy I've had for years. This one was actually sitting in my trades bin. Well, Adam, what the hell are you showing us this for? Why are you only showing us the back? Well, let me I'm just going to go ahead and flip this over here. See that? See this little gold marking there? You know what that is? That is an autograph. This game is signed by Yu Suzuki, the man himself, the creator of Shenmue. Hell yes. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell you the circumstances of how, what, where, why, or when this was autographed as per the request of the person who got this signed for me. But all I can tell you is that I was contacted by a guy named Ali Novin, a hell of a nice guy who was a huge Shenmue fan. And he said, I will be in contact with Yu Suzuki, and I am willing to get something signed for you. And so I said, of course. So I mailed him this outer part of the game, just this part, and he, of course, took the paper part out once he got that part signed, put it back together, and sent it to me. And he even paid for the return shipping. I offered to pay him, of course, but he said, no, my treat. And so, yeah, now I have an autographed copy of Shenmue, my favorite game of all time, in my collection, which is amazing. And you guys will see this. It'll be behind me in my videos. On like the counter there. It's gonna be really cool. I would love to tell you more about this, but I promised I wouldn't. But I will tell you it has absolutely nothing to do with any kind of Shenmue 3 conspiracy. Trust me, if there was anything going on with Shenmue 3, I would love to talk about it, and I would talk about it, but there's nothing going on there. Yeah, this is just a very casual event. But yeah, so that's just about it. That's it for game pickups. Now let's talk about the Zombie Army Trilogy thing. So the way this is going to work, or it did work, I should say, was that you could have entered either on YouTube, or you could have entered on Facebook, or you could have entered on both if you wanted to. And one winner of the 4 keys was going to come from a Facebook post, and we would randomly generate the winner. Same with YouTube. So we would take all the names and throw them in a random generator and let it pick. So don't feel bad if you didn't win. We had literally 1,000+ entries and only 4 keys. So the Facebook winner will be posted right here on screen. And below that there are 2 names. Those 2 people are runner-ups. So the first person I will contact, congratulations, you just won a downloadable copy of Zombie Army Trilogy, and I'll contact you soon. You have 72 hours to reply. If you do not, then I will contact the second runner-up, and if you don't reply after that time, I'll contact the third. I don't think the odds of all 3 of you not replying is very good, but there you go. Now, the same way is going to work for YouTube. There were 3 keys available for YouTube winners. The first YouTube winner will be now posted up on the top of the screen, and the 2 next names are the runner-ups. So if you see your name in the bottom, in the second or third, you did not win, you are a runner-up. But in the event that the person at the top does not reply, you will get contacted. So there you go. Now this is the winner of key number 3, right there, top of the screen. And below them, the runner-ups. Alright. And here are the winners of key number 4, or the winner of key number 4, as well as the runner-ups. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Again, nothing personal. It was a random name generator. I just pulled all qualifying names, threw them in a random name generator, and let it pick. So I will even include a link in the description to the random option generator so you can see how it works if you're really that interested. But yeah, congratulations to the winners. And thank you guys for watching. I also want to thank, of course, Ian for hooking me up with this. And thank you to Ronald and John and Henry and Zach and Steven for giving me all this great stuff. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.